I know I showed you guys this one in the winter, but it's strange, and it's even stranger in the summer. So we've actually got this dead tree here, which is leaning on this dead tree which has fallen over, which comes up and meets that big tree and it's bracing that big tree, which is dead and leaning this way. Then in the middle, holding the whole thing up, we have one stick right here, and it all meets in the middle. That just, to me, is weird. Can you see that? That stick there is, it's like a support beam in the middle. It's like it was placed there. Why? What would this mean? What is this supposed to tell anyone? I have no idea. Hey guys, Unfrequented World, out in the bush taking Gage for a hike. You can see from my shirt, that's what we're looking for. As always, I've got the A6600 with the 7300 zoom on my hip, just in case we see something that we need to take photos of. And the 4K camcorder will do most of the work today. I'm going to take a couple-mile hike up here to the fox den. I haven't been up there probably in 7 or 8 weeks. I've got Gage with me. We're just going to take a look and see. I'm pretty sure the fox den is long cleared out, but we're going to take a look, and that way we'll get through a lot of this swamp as well. We can look for new pull-down structures, footprints. It's very wet and muddy in here now. It's been raining quite a bit the last week, so it's just an excuse to get out of the house and go for a bit of a hunt and see what we can find. So we talk about the strange twisted trees that we find quite often, and sometimes it is natural. I've seen this tree quite a few times. It's right off the side of my Skidoo trail. I've never showed it to you guys before because this is completely natural. If you look at this tree, the base here, it's got a real weird twist to it, and that's the root system underneath. Right at the very bottom down here is the roots. And when this tree grew up, it grew up and then over and then up. And you do see that quite a bit. It's the ones that are growing with a twist in them, you know, 7, 8, 10 feet up, that you gotta wonder what happened there. In these root systems, this happens all the time. There's two trees growing beside each other there. One of them had to grow around the other one. And that's why you get that really cool, funky twist at the base here. Having shown you guys that, if we look right here beside it, there's another little tree right here that's snapped off. So there's the stick and the tree stump we were just talking about. And as I pan over here to the left, we can see there's a couple arched, looped over sticks in here, and some more broken ones, but also stuff like this. So we've got a bunch of them arched over right here and some sticks placed on top of them. I see that here, and then right here I see it again. It just looks odd to me. Looped over and sticks placed right in here. And then in between this tree, this one's woven between two trees. So it looks odd to me. Is this all natural? I don't know. I can't say. There's so much stuff going on here. You know, what would the point of this be? I see a whole bunch stacked right here, and then I see a whole bunch stacked right here. So, I don't know. Natural, not natural, very busy. This one is locked into this one down here, which then comes up And then it's holding up this one that's going way up in the air and sticking into nowhere. Like, I don't know. Seems pretty weird. If you look closely at this stuff, there's weird things. I want to show you guys right here. This stick in the middle, I'm going to show you this because it's weird. Okay, so bear with me guys, because this is what I'm talking about, that you have to look closely to see the strangeness. Here, these are all pulled over again. This kind of looks like our normal natural thing, right? However, you follow this one here, comes up, and it goes all the way looping over here. It loops around, and then it curls down and it's sticking into the ground. Well, in the middle is this stick stuck in between a triangle made out of a branch from this tree over here and this big long looping arc that I just showed you. How did this get sticking in the middle of that? Like, there's nothing attaching that to the ground. It's odd, but there's so much of that stuff going on here, I have to believe it's natural. I mean, if some creature or somebody was trying to tell you something, wouldn't you make it more obvious what you're trying to say? You know, a big X or, I don't know. It's really weird how these things are looped together, twisting, making a triangle with a stick put in the middle of it. But if you didn't stop and look at that really closely, we're not on any trail. The trail that I'm heading for is over here, another 100 feet. So I have to say it's just natural chaos. I'm keeping my eyes open though, and we are looking. If I see anything that says, it's all so weird. I just see so much. I could point out 100 things right here. This is also the exact spot from back in the winter where we heard the whistle that morning and saw the flash of light. We're in that same 75-yard patch. So this is a strange part of the forest. If you guys didn't watch those videos, go back, because you can't make this stuff up. We captured a whistle in the winter, no birds here, and somebody whistled at me while I was out here on the trail. I forget why I was exploring. I saw a bright flash of light. I don't think that's why I went in the bush, but we saw it when we were out here, and as I was standing there telling you guys about that, I heard a whistle. In the winter, no birds, so this is the same spot. I mean, we're within 50 meters, 70 meters of that spot. Okay, we're 20 feet further into the bush. This is what I'm talking about when I say a weird loop. Okay, 7 feet up. This tree, I'll turn the camera around and show you guys, it just makes a big arcing loop. What makes a tree do this? Okay, it goes up 7 feet, loops over, and then comes right back down to the ground. Trees don't grow like that naturally. This tree is only, you know, it's an older tree, but I mean, it's only 1.5 inches in diameter. What kind of snow load? I'll back up and show you the whole tree. That to me is weird. So I stopped to take a picture of these mushrooms here on the ground, and right beside it I see this. This is strange in itself, that there are multiple sticks here that are snapped off on both ends. I don't even know what's holding this stick up. Look at this stick right here. The top of it is right here. The bottom of it's right here. It's snapped off. What is holding that up? And then we got another one right here that's completely broken. That's broken off top and bottom, but it's all just floating here. What? What is this? Weird. Again, more stuff here, bent right over. right? I don't know. Comes out of this mess right here. Back down to the ground. There's our trail over there. Still another 25 meters over there. And zero creepy feeling in the woods today. I could sit down and have a nap. Wouldn't bother me. Like, I feel nothing. Finding lots of weird stuff, or what I would classify as weird. I don't know why or how trees, like, especially little single ones, there's nothing for snow to get caught on to pull the tree over, so I don't know. Can't explain that. So I'm right on the main 90-acre trail right now, and you guys have seen this spot up here. There's an old tore up deer blind. There's also a granite rock pile here, which I never noticed before. I mean, we have tons of granite here on this trail, especially when we get up by the fox den, but I never noticed this pile over here. Let's go take a look. Just do a bit of investigation here. I've never noticed these before. Oh, look at this. Somebody's got a chair. I don't know if you guys can see it, but there's one of those plastic lawn chairs sitting up here on a flat rock. Probably for deer hunting. Oh, yeah, for sure. Look, there's a stand. I did not know that was here. Last time I found a chair like that in the forest, I was deer hunting with my dad, and we had separated and gone each of us one way around a great big old swamp, and there was a skidder trail that I had taken, and coming through the treetops, sunlight was illuminating a chair like that, and it was behind a brush pile, hadn't been used in many years, 3-4 inches of pine needles on it, but I just had a feeling because of the way the sun was coming through and a sunbeam was lighting that chair up, that I was supposed to sit there, and I did. And an hour later, a nice 8-point buck walked out onto that skidder trail 50 meters from me, and I got my deer that year. It was a pretty cool find. So still on this big outcropping of granite, we've got another snapped tree right here. I couldn't reach that. If I were standing on that rock right there as far out as I could, that'd be way over my head. Here's another one that's making an arch. Right here. Gross. out of the water. Some of you guys have requested I just take you for a walk out in the bush. There's a few of you that just can't get out anymore and you just love the bush, so that's kind of why we're out here today. But I'm pointing out anomalies as well. Gage, he's back in the water again. And you guys have seen this big granite outcropping here in the winter. This is the corner where Gage freaked out that one time. Does anyone know of a microphone that has a front and a rear instead of a left and a right? This microphone here, I'm using an external Rode mic, and every time I'm in front of the camera, I have to turn the microphone around. Every time I go back behind the camera, I got to stop, unhook it, turn it around. It's a real pain in the butt. If anyone knows of a microphone that has a front and a rear instead of a left and right, that I could just flick with a switch, front, back, you know, instead of unhooking this every time, I would buy it tomorrow. It's such a pain in the butt. I can't tell you guys how many times I've started recording a segment and then gone, ah, crap, the microphone is facing the wrong way. So if you guys know of anything like that, let me know in the comments below. Really? Dude, really? Come on. Come on. Let's go. That way. Come on. Just looked awfully dark up there in the top of that little tree. You know what I would love to capture on film? I would love to capture a transparent figure. I've seen a few videos online. I don't know what it is. It's not photoshopped in there. It's not an overlay on a video. Whatever those things are, they're real. And I swear, 40-some years hunting experience, sometimes you get that feeling, like the other night. Is that what we're sensing? I would love to capture something definitive like that. I'd probably never go in the woods again if I did. But I would still love to capture it just to say it's real. I believe that whatever that is, it is out here in the woods. You know, when you're on a watch for hours on end and your senses are honed 10 out of 10, you're every little moth that flickers in the bush 100 yards out, you're looking, you're hearing, you're seeing. There are times when you sense something and you can't find it. And I wonder, is that what it is? Is there something that has the ability to cloak, to camouflage, that we just can't see? Would you see it with a camera with a certain spectrum of light? Would you see it with a better zoom? I don't know. I would love to capture it though. So I'm gonna go with crazy natural chaos. That's gonna be my theory on all of these things I pointed out to you guys today. If I saw something set up somewhere and I saw multiple signs, like if we knocked down a stick and next time I go back and it was there again, or I saw something blatantly obvious like a big X in the middle of the trail, you know, all of these things I showed you guys today were off trail. Really weird, and I can't explain how they got there, but I'm gonna have to go with natural chaos. What do you guys think? Let me know down below. I could point out 500 of these things. Like, there's just so much out here. There's so much. If you look behind me, it's just chaos everywhere. Well, there's the big granite cropping behind me, but anywhere that there's so many trees down, they're leaning, they're stacked. The bent ones I can't explain. There aren't as many of those. I mean, there's probably a dozen that I know of on this trail in a 40-minute walk. And then each time as we go off the trail exploring a little further, we find more and more. So I have to say natural somehow for those as well. My mind goes to snow load, but I can't visually envision how that happens because some of these are pretty small. And the ones that are bent right over, like I showed you in this video, that go up and they're looped over within a foot of each other, I find those way more suspicious. Because if it was snow load, it would have that nice long arc to it, and if it goes straight up and it loops right back over, that's weird to me. Why didn't it snap? You know, whatever was causing this should have caused it to snap. No, I don't know. Leave your comments below, guys. Nothing's too out there, you know. I mean, we're just talking about it, so we're not defining anything here. We're just saying this is strange. What is it? So all your comments are welcome.